How you doing, guys? I'm Sean.
Hi everybody! I'm Lynn. I hope you're having an absolutely incredible day today.
Absolutely magical day. Guys, today's video we're going to be talking about citrine, the merchant stone.
Citrine, the merchant sunny stone.
And what we're going to do, we're just going to, like all our videos, and keep saying this again and again and again. This is just our interpretation of it, of our experiences with citrine, and it's not, it's nothing carved in stone. Excuse the pun, but
Carved in stone.
basically it's just
Like
just our
that.
interpretation of what we feel about citrine and what we do with it, using it in our lives, and hopefully you'll be able to use it in yours. So it's share the information what you do with yours down below, please.
Absolutely. Now, citrine, you may or may not know, a lot of you may know if you're familiar with crystals, is that there's two types of citrine in our opinion. Well, the one is the completely natural citrine. It's completely natural. It's not been heat treated or dyed or coloured in any form. And the other one is the citrine, which is the most commonly found in crystal shops or on the internet. And this is the one that you most often see the most, is what is called like heat treated citrine, which is actually
Cooked in the oven.
heat treated amethyst, and the cook temperature is baked in the oven at many degrees, which turns the beautiful purple colour into like a dark burnt orange colour. And that's how you can tell the difference between the two, is that natural citrine is very
Well, so there's
often...
two fakes here. So,
Yep,
so you've got you've got the amethyst there, and you've got amethyst there, but because this one's been heat treated, it's actually they're selling it as citrine. You clearly see the difference. Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, well, natural citrine is actually more of a golden colour, and it is actually very rare to find citrine in a cluster. You can get natural citrine clusters, but they're not easy to find. So if you get a citrine cluster, it's nearly always heat-treated amethyst. But a citrine point, like this one here, is usually a natural citrine, is always either golden, very pale golden coloured, or very pale goldy sort of greeny colour, but it's always transparent and it's always a pale golden colour. And heat treated citrine is always either very dark yellow like this one here, or a very dark orangey colour. So heat treated amethyst, which is artificial citrine, is always comes in many different shades, from the goldeny coloured to the very dark burnt orange, most often found in the dark burnt orange.
Although we would use the term fake, do you know what I mean? It's still a crystal, no matter what, but it's what man has done. That, excuse me, they've had a lot of surplus amethyst sitting about, and obviously there's more money in citrine. So of course the next thing they do, they bake it, and they try to duplicate what Mother Earth does naturally in the heart of Mother Earth, which would change the quartz's colour situation, through the different range, and producing out lovely citrine. So what man does is, of course, they want to make some money from it, and they will take a load of amethyst and they'll stick it in an oven, or a load of clear quartz and stick them in the oven, and just try to alter the
Change
thing.
all
So
the colours.
so be very wary when you're purchasing, and that's one of them things. Do they have an effect on the energy of the crystal? Well, we personally believe,
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
100%. If you think about it, you see, natural citrine, it contains, similar to like amethyst, which is what gives amethyst its beautiful purple colour, is the iron inside. And when it's heat treated, when it's baked in the oven, it's getting radiated by the heat. The heat causes it to go orange. Now, with natural citrine, it does contain a very small amount of iron, and it's natural radiation, naturally heated in its own mother nature over the years, which has caused it to go a lovely golden colour. So basically putting an amethyst crystal into an oven and heating it is completely changing the whole chemistry of the crystal. And as you can see, this one here, it is a beautiful heat-treated amethyst narrow citrine. But when you turn it round, and this is often the case when you see a lot of the heat-treated citrines in the shops, in the clusters, is that the white matrix it's on is very white, and it's often very brittle because the heat takes any tiny bit of moisture out of the crystal.
So when you look at the like of that, you can clearly see
It was an amethyst.
It's an amethyst. It was obviously it was in a much larger. Like if you can imagine like that in early, much larger. So you could have. So obviously they broke them off and nuked them, heated them, and they're selling them in the shops and selling them online as citrine. Now, we've got a slight issue with people, especially established crystal shops, who should know better when they're selling crystals and letting on that they are citrine, and they're not citrine. Now, we still have some here, and we know they're not citrine. All we just want to do when you're purchasing something, you want to make sure you're going to get what you're paying for. And if you're going to be purchasing crystals because the books tell you that a citrine is going to do X, Y, Z, then you're going to be disappointed when you get something back and it's actually an amethyst and it's been heat treated and altered. So be very wary with it.
Yeah, because a lot of the books say that it makes no difference when it comes to buying citrine. They will say, and a lot of them say this, and I totally disagree, is they say that heat treated citrine has the same properties as natural citrine, but it doesn't, because it's two different crystals. And if you're sensitive to crystal energy, you'll know the difference between, even if they did look very alike, between heat treated amethyst, now citrine, to a natural citrine. A natural citrine, when I hold natural citrine, it feels very light, not in weight, just light as in it's very refreshing, and it's almost like it's very cleansing. And if you have stomach aches and things like that, I tend to put it onto my tummy. I find it very refreshing. Or if you have digestive problems, anything like that, natural citrine is brilliant for that. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to heat treated citrine, now this is where I find it has practically almost very similar effects to natural amethyst, even though it's been heat treated. So they feel totally different energies completely.
Chalk and cheese, you know what I mean? And it's not. I know a lot of people, especially even the people who are involved in crystals and things like that, and say no, it's not. Like, we're not anti. Well, sort of am anti. I don't see why you have to do it. If somebody's wanting to nuclear things, but just leave it as it is. You know what I mean? Don't mass produce something just to make money off it. And so but it would be sort of more anti shops selling and dealers selling crystals that have been nuked or things like that, irrespective of it.
It's not nice, because a crystal is natural. And it shouldn't be put in an oven and heated at many degrees. And they shouldn't be dyed. Like, you see these crystals that are dyed horrible colours in the shops as well. And I don't like that, because it's going against nature. And it's like a lot of the ones you see, the new thing now with crystals is these crackle quartzes. And they've been, again, put in the oven at a horrible temperature. So the beautiful natural piece of quartz that's completely cracked because of the intense heat. And then they stick it in some horrible fake dye. And it's just the most tackiest thing you're ever going to see.
But then the people who sell in the books, of course, they want, and they've also got connections to people who are selling the same crystals. Then they turn around and put a new chapter in the book, and they put a trade name on and call it crackle quartz.
Yeah.
That's going to be a different video, I think.
We will do another video again on fake crystals and what to beware of and that. But that's a whole new topic. But we keep on track with the citrine at the moment. Yeah,
the merchant stone it's reputed to the merchants would have put it in their tills, attracted an abundance of money and things like that. And I don't know if it worked.
Well, it's commonly used in feng shui. They always recommend putting citrine in your home to attract wealth. And again, they often say, shopkeepers, put one in your till, keep one in your purse, it will attract money into your life. So citrine has many, many different uses. But personally, this is only what we get from citrine. Again, not what you will necessarily get, because everybody's different, and we always say that. But I personally find citrine is a really lovely cleansing crystal. And if you're going through any type of detox, or you're on like some type of cleansing regime or anything, I think that citrine is great. It really... It just makes you feel so clean, and it's a good one to carry on you. Like, if you're going through a lot of juicing and health fasting and eating lots of fresh fruits and vegetables, which you should be doing anyway, by the way, then citrine is a really good cleansing one, isn't it?
100%.
I love it.
And it generally will help in that, if you are going to be, you're watching what you're eating and obviously doing exercise and things like that, but cleansing. Get a natural piece. Now, you're going to be probably paying more for it, and you also have to be very wary. We've always said also that you have to go with your intuition. If you're drawn with, and that's why sometimes it is better at times if you can get to a crystal shop and sit with a crystal, things like that. The books are genuinely fantastic, and the context is going to be something there as a guide for you to turn around and look at something and say, what looks the sound of it. But if you're purchasing crystals solely on what the people are selling the crystals, or the people who are writing the books is on, then you're not doing yourself justice, your higher self, your intuitive being that you are. Because basically, if you're purchasing a crystal solely on the strength that a book is saying it's going to cure X, Y, Z, or it's going to bring abundance of money for you, it's going to bring love into your life like a rose quartz, then you're not doing yourself justice. So what we would say to you to do is try to get hold of a piece, preferably at a shop or at a fair. Hold it in your hand, try to tune into it, and it doesn't matter. Remember the piece you had of amethyst? Yeah, it was Happy died as well, but you were tuned into it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which one for? So don't rule it out because it happens to be a heat treated piece of amethyst. That's still a crystal.
Oh, if you're drawn
and it
to
could be radiating for you, and it could actually be the piece you're looking for because we've bought
crystals, like for example this one here. And even this one, we knew that they were heat-treated amethyst citrine, but because we felt so drawn to them, we just had to. They're wonderful. They've got a lovely energy. So if you've got citrine at home that's been heat-treated, it's still got a lovely energy. Do you know? It's still wonderful. Absolutely. We've got many, like this lovely cluster here as well. So
we're just wanting you to be aware of it. If your crystal is not what people say it is, ask the shopkeeper and say, can you guarantee that this is actually citrine?
Because there's so many selling them as natural, real citrines, and they're not. And a lot of the time, the shopkeepers don't know themselves, although they should do if they're selling crystals. But just to be aware that if it doesn't bother you, and so there's plenty of heat-treated amethysts that have got lovely energies, and they're great. We use them a lot.
And they are beautifully looking anyway. Do you know what I mean? If you could see like large freestanding pieces that, even if they're amethyst, they're still quartz. They still have an energy.
Oh, it's a lovely crystal to have around the home, and also it's a great one if you're feeling down in the dumps. I call it like a sunny crystal because not only the colour is nice and sunny, like the colour of the bright yellow, but it's a really uplifting crystal. It's a lovely, warming, uplifting. It's almost like the sun in a crystal form. It's really uplifting. So it's great if you're feeling it in the dumps. Carry some citrine on you and give you a lot of bit of oomph. Give you a good start to the day.
This is actually my favourite. It's one of my first crystals ever purchased, natural citrine, and it's just wonderful to hold. So citrine itself, you could actually be sitting meditating with it. What you're drawn to do, but certainly we would tell you for citrine, if you get a natural piece, to sit down and meditate with it, just to tune into your higher self to see what you're guided to do. And why we're so anti of it, and I don't want to keep on about this, why we're so anti about them heat treating things like that, when you're getting something natural from Mother Earth. She does the heat treating down below the earth, natural. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she knows exactly what she's doing. So therefore, when you're taking something up as raw and as natural as possible, then you're connecting to the raw and natural energy of it. When you start altering it, and even when it comes down to shaping it and tumbling it and things like that, it's going to have an effect on it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes positive, by the way. But when it comes to dyeing them and heat treating them, we'd be definitely sort of against it. There you go, guys.
There you go. I hope you found that a bit of interesting information about citrine.
And I tell you, if you have a piece there and it looks as if it's heat treated, it's a wounded healer. And if you're not familiar with one of our other videos when we talk about wounded healers, any crystal that has been damaged either through intention of the people who's mining it or the people who's selling it or even ourselves holding it and maybe even dropping it, they're repairing themselves. They're still giving up an energy. So if you have a piece of amethyst sold, tell you citrine, love it, bring it in, tell yourself, connect with that energy, because at the end of the day it's going to be in this playing field, this planet, a lot longer than you're going to be there and I'm going to be there and I'm not going to worry about, you know what I mean? So love it as it is. It came to you for a reason. Even if you bought something by mistake or you bought something for something else, it came to you for a reason. Work with it.
Exactly.
Enjoy it, and don't be analysing it too much, but just be aware of what you're holding and just see where it takes you to.
Absolutely, yeah.
Guys, sending you love from Ireland. Kind of thank you all for your lovely comments, and a lot of the new people there who subscribed to us. You're very welcome. We're blessed to have you here on this section of the road. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to us here. You could follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook, and we'd love to have you here. You can also have a look at our other channel. It's Dreaming of Avalon meditation channel. It's a new one started up.
It's lovely. If you really want to learn more how to meditate, there's some wonderful meditations there. So please check us over. Yeah.
Guys, send you love from Ireland, and thanks for watching the video.
And loads of happiness as always. Until the next video. Bye.
See you later, guys.